Hello again, and welcome to Parker Brothers VCR clue game, Murder in Disguise. The object of the game is to discover who are the murderers and victims, the room in which each murder took place, and which weapon was used. Let's start with an introductory game. The detective fact sheet will help you keep track of what you learned. So, everybody, take one now. I said everybody. Okay. First off, let's ignore the section on the left that says players. That's my favorite part of the game, but we'll save that till later. We're going to play game one. So let's look it up in the case book. It says here we have 3 murders. That's 3 victims, 3 different murderers, 3 rooms, and 3 weapons. That means to win the game, you must complete the first 3 lines of this accusation. And to do that, you need clues. There are 3 decks of clue cards and 10 suspect picture cards. For this game, we'll use the blue clue cards only. Put all the other cards away. I'll explain them later. Now, deal out 3 cards to each player. Stop the tape until you finish dealing. The clue cards show facts numbered 1 to 6, each pertaining to a different mystery game. We're playing game 1, so only the facts numbered 1 on your cards will count for this game. The initials at the right tell you whether a fact concerns a murderer, victim, weapon, or room. And at the end of each fact is a scene number to which it refers. All the facts in game 1 refer to the introduction, so if you remember what you've just seen, you can start to solve the mystery right now. Grab a pencil and we'll do it together. I have a fact that says the woman who opened the door committed murder with the candlestick. That makes Mrs. Peacock a murderer. And her weapon was the candlestick. Now mark all that down on your fact sheet. Let's try another. The weapon held by Monsieur Brunette was used to commit murder in the lounge. Well, Brunette held the candlestick. So that means the candlestick was used in the lounge. I can note that by connecting them. But if I know that Peacock used the candlestick and the candlestick was used in the lounge, Mrs. Peacock killed someone in the lounge. I can enter all that right here in the accusation. But who was it she knocked off? Another fact. The man who held up the papers died in the room with the birdcage. Plum had the papers, so he's a victim. But where was that birdcage? I'll make a note till I recall. That's it, the lounge. Plum died in the lounge. Now that makes him Peacock's victim. And we've solved one of the 3 murders in this game. Take a few minutes now to read the facts on your clue cards. See what you can learn about the other 2 murders. And note it down on your fact sheet. Don't worry if you can't remember everything. You'll get a chance to see the scene again. Play begins with the person on my left. What kind of information do you need most? Do you need a fact about a murderer, a victim, a weapon, or a room? Pick any other player and ask for the kind of fact you need. He or she must give you a card with that kind of fact. If that player doesn't have one, ask someone else. Instead of asking for a fact on your turn, you may replay the scene or pick a clue card from the deck. When you think you've solved the mystery, announce that you're ready to make an accusation. You may make an accusation at the end of your turn. Use this special red filter to check the solution in the case book. If you're right, announce your solution and dazzle us all. If you're wrong, you lose. Don't take any more turns, but keep your cards and stick around in case someone asks you for a fact. After you've played game 1, you'll be ready for the big time, a full game. Return to the spot on the tape and I'll tell all. But right now, you've still got 2 murderers to catch. Now you're ready for a full game. Select the game from the case book. You'll need the black suspect cards and the clue cards that match the chapter that you're watching. If this is your first full game, watch chapter 1 and play game 2 on the blue cards. The lower numbered games are easier. To play a full game, each of you will be one of the suspects, And to win the game, you must find out not only who done it, but who's who. So, everyone pick a suspect's card. Look at it and put it where no one can see it. Then, without looking at them, put the remaining suspect cards back in the box and out of play. Your suspect card is your secret personal identity. As you watch the action, pay special attention to your suspect. The others will try to learn who you are by interrogating you, asking you a yes or no question. Your fact sheet will help you keep track of this information, so write your name here next to your suspect, and write the names of the other players in these columns to the left. Now, suppose I ask Sam, do you have a foreign accent? And he answers, yes. Well, that means I've narrowed down Sam's identity to 3 suspects: Colonel Mustard, Monsieur Brunette, and Madame Rose. Couldn't be Miss Scarlet because that's me. The complete rules and hints for asking questions are in your detective casebook. Begin a full game by dealing out 3 clue cards to each player. Watch the first scene. At the end of each scene, you'll play a round of interrogations followed by a round of turns. On your turn, you may do one of 4 things. You may ask another player for a fact about a murderer, victim, weapon, or room. You may replay a scene. You may interrogate another player, or you may pick up a new clue card, as long as there are any left. With 6 or more players, it's a good idea to team up. The casebook tells you how. All the rules are in here, along with plenty of strategy tips. Look it over. Now, how to win a full game. You watched all 5 scenes and continued playing until you've gotten all the murderers, victims, weapons, and rooms written in on your fact sheet. At the end of your turn, look up the correct solution. If you're wrong, you lose. But stick around in case someone wants to ask you a question or get a fact from you. If you're right about the murders, the next step is to announce the other players' secret identities. Your opponents must confirm your identifications. If you're correct, then announce your solution to the mystery and win the game. If you get any of the identifications wrong, stop there. Play continues for one more suspense round. The other players take one more turn and may make an accusation if they wish. Anyone who can on this last turn solve the mystery and correctly identify all the players steals the win away from you. If no one can do this, then you must be the best detective after all. On your next turn, complete the accusation and win the game. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have killers to catch. And so do you.